it's Gabby.
My eyes were closed.
Hi everyone, it's Gabby
And Malaika.
and welcome back to On Our List. Today we're going to be talking about the Florida Project and Mudbound.
Yes.
Those are two movies of the video.
We're excited about them.
Yes, we're going to start with the Florida Project.
Yes.
So the Florida Project is not nominated as a Best Picture for the Oscars, but
it's a really good one.
Willem Dafoe is nominated for Best Actor.
Oh yeah, I knew this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, Best Supporting
Actor.
Best Supporting Actor. So this was one of my favorite movies that came out during the award season.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. It's heartbreaking. It's gut-wrenching. And it's a really, accurate description of things, in my opinion.
The only thing I don't like is that it's called the Florida Project.
Yeah, we don't like that it's because
because we're from Florida and it's like...
Yeah, and we're an hour and 20 minutes from where
Disney.
this takes place, and the point of it was to be in the shadows of Disney. It's big beautiful thing that's expensive.
But it's giving Florida this weird, and Florida already has a lot of weird vibes
Florida already
out there.
has so many issues, let's not add to them.
Yeah, but still, love this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just on the record, it could be called the Indiana Project, it could be called
just
the California Project, it could be anything.
Yeah.
So, basically the movie is through the eyes of the 6-year-old girl named Mooney.
Played by Brooklyn Prince,
Brooklyn,
right?
Brooklyn Prince, who also is
cute.
the cutest little girl, and go watch her award. She accepted an award at the Critics' Choice Award, I think, for Best Young Actor.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's the cutest thing. But the whole movie is shown through her perspective, and you don't really get to see a lot of movies for adults that is through a child's perspective.
Yeah, there's not really any movies or shows except Stranger Things. It's the only show I can think of right now that's kind of through the eyes of kids, and it's really cool. And she's really young in the movie. Yeah, I think she's 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mooney and her mom live at this motel, and it's a motel that a lot of people don't go and stay for a night. They live at this motel.
Yeah.
And then she has different friends at the motel that she plays with, and this is taking place during the summer, so it's not like she's going to school.
Yeah, and they just kind of get into a lot of mischief together, and she's not the most well-behaved kid, but you kind of feel for her because she's young and she's just trying to have a good time with her friends.
But she also doesn't know what well-behaved is because of her situation.
Right.
So her mother, Haley, in the movie, she is struggling. She's a struggling mother, single mother. She's
trying to provide for her and her daughter. She doesn't really have, they don't say it in the movie, but she doesn't really have the education necessarily. She doesn't have a steady job. She does weird things. She sells perfume. She sells herself just to make money.
She there was one scene where she stole magic bands and from Disney magic bands to try to resell them to people.
Right.
She struggles and you feel for her, but it's I don't know.
And you can tell that she loves her daughter a lot.
Oh yeah, there's so much
she
love.
definitely cares about her, and she's trying to give her the best that she can, but she's really young herself.
She acts like a big sister a lot of the time.
Basically.
But yeah, and it's almost the moments where she turns into mom, oh yeah, she's Mooney's mom.
Right, and you're kind of okay.
Yeah. But Willem Dafoe's character come in with what is his character's name? Bobby.
Where is he?
Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
he's the manager of the motel.
Manager of the motel, and he's really understanding of everybody who's living there, and that's something that's not said, but it's you can tell.
Yeah, he understands their situations, but he's also trying to run this motel, and he's got his boss's boss kind of giving him hey, they can't be doing this, they can't be doing that, but he kind of makes accommodations for them, or he has them okay, you're not really supposed to live here. You need to go to this other motel for the night, and then you can come back. I didn't really quite understand that movie, but I think that was the point.
Yeah, that was the point.
You can't establish residence, so you have to leave, and then you can come back.
And he has a super soft spot for Mooney. He's the kind of grumpy old man character almost,
but he
Mooney
cares a lot about the kids there.
So
and
much
the
about
families
Mooney.
There. Yeah.
Yeah. So this movie's heartbreaking because it's so real. It's stuff that really happens every single day, and how people live.
And it's just about the struggle, the struggle of living.
Not even paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, living on literally the dollar you have in your pocket and trying to figure out what you're gonna eat. how you're going to pay your rent, what you're going to do for the next day. And it's really heartbreaking, but it's fun and kind of sweet at the same time.
Yeah, because all this is going on, and like you know that as an adult watching it, but Mooney just is in this like fantasy world, like her own little fantasy world, and she just makes everything the best day ever, and she makes the best out of such a terrible situation, but in her mind she's not even in a terrible situation.
She thinks it's fun to like go to the ice cream place and like beg people for money and play around in like, you know, this motel that's probably not even the cleanest, and play in these dangerous places, and like, you know,
spit on people's cars,
spit on people, and like burn buildings down. I mean, it's all really bad, but for them it's fun. That's how they create their fun. They can't afford to go to Disneyland. You know, they can't go do anything else, so they play in this
Disney World.
All right, Disney World. Sorry, we're in Florida, but they can't afford to go to anything else. So it's all like their own imagination and finding something fun to do.
Yeah. So I mean, I think the end of the movie ended sad in a sense, but also hopeful.
Yeah. Even though I thought it was a little like not weird, but I was like, well, what's gonna happen? Yeah. I wanted like more concreteness, I guess.
Yeah.
But then it was kind of sweet to like see them actually finally get to Disney.
Yeah.
But
yeah. So for this movie, it's not on the 1 through 9 for just the best.
Just like it and wanted to like, put it on the radar.
Oh, also I wanted to clarify something because I've gotten a question about it. Like when we do 1 through 9 for the Oscars list, like for the best, 1 is like the best. Like 1 is like our number 1 spot, number 1 on our list. But like otherwise, when we rate, it's gonna be like 1 through 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best.
Yeah, like how do you feel?
But like just the Oscars is separate.
Yeah.
Best Picture nominees. I give it an 8 out of 10.
Oh, you really like this one.
I really like this one.
I'll give it like a 7. Yeah, because I really liked it. But I mean, I didn't like love it.
I really liked it.
But I like the idea of it. Like the simplicity of it.
Anyway, so that's the Florida Project.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about Mudbound. So Mudbound is a film that takes place in Mississippi after World War II, and it's basically, it follows a lot of characters, but it's kind of these two guys go to war, and they are returning home, and they're returning to their respective families, and one is from like a black family, and one is from a white family, and they're kind of like readjusting to...
White Southern.
Right, white Southern family in Mississippi, and they're like readjusting to life basically. And it stars Carrie.
No one talked about post-traumatic stress disorder back then, but that's not.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. They don't, do they?
Yeah.
So it stars Carrie Mulligan. I'm just gonna read all the list names off because I can't remember them all. Carrie Mulligan, Garrett Hedlund, Jason Clarke, Jonathan Banks. If you've seen Breaking Bad, you know who that is. Yeah. Jason Mitchell and Mary J. Blige and Rob Morgan. So Garrett Hedlund plays Jamie, and he's the white kind of lead in the film, and then Jason Mitchell plays Ronzel, who's the black kind of not lead. They're all kind of leads, but
it's definitely
there's
a supporting
guys coming home from war. Yeah, it's a full cast. Mary J. Blige plays Ronzel's mother. Rob Morgan plays Hap, who's the father, and then Carrie Mulligan plays the sister-in-law of Garrett Hedlund's character, and then Jason Clarke is her husband, and he's Henry.
So basically from there, the basic storyline is it starts with Carrie Mulligan's character and Jason Clarke's character. They're it's how like they got together, to be husband and wife, and he's promising her all these big things, and they're going to move to this farm, and they're going to be like very wealthy, blah blah blah.
And it all just goes to
shit. They move to this farm, and like they don't have the he gets
swindled out of the house. He pays for the house, but he doesn't really pay it to the right person, so he ends up not getting the house. So he ends up moving into this like dilapidated house somewhere on the farm. And so basically the black family also lives on the farm. Right. It has their kind of own little area and I think they kind of own that land.
I think they're working to own that land. Or they
work to own that land.
Like
it's not exactly
They
clear.
work for the farm, I feel like, and like whoever runs the farm is who they work for.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel. And like they're trying to earn enough money to like buy their own acres of that farm.
Right. And their family kind of, the white family comes and they kind of start, asking them for favors, needing them for more resources than they're really supposed to, and just just
Mary J. Blige character becomes like a nanny
to the kids,
to the little girls,
right? And it's just kind of this whole thing. And the two guys who come home from war, they develop this, unlikely friendship because they're both going through, I almost said postpartum.
Postpartum depression. Post-traumatic stress disorder. But that terminology is never used in the film because that terminology was not used.
Yeah, it's not a thing back then. But they're both struggling with it, so they kind of connect.
And they both have two very different struggles.
Mm-hmm.
Something we haven't mentioned is the father, which is Jonathan Banks' character in this film. So he's the father of Jamie and the father of Henry. He moves into the house that's on the farm, and he is a racist white KKK member.
Yeah,
super racist.
Just what you would think of for back in that time.
So Jamie is always criticized by his father, like for joining the Air Force, saying like if you're gonna kill a man, you should be able to look him in the eye.
Right.
And like he's always had this internal struggle with that because his dad wasn't proud of him for like serving the country and like not calling him a man.
Yeah, with Ronzel, living in Mississippi at that time, he's just like a black, I don't want to say the N-word on here, but N-word. He's kind of just treated like crap. But when he goes off to war, he's respected over in Europe. They don't really see him as less than as much. He's respected as this person serving for their country. So he's able to live the life that he wishes he could have back home. So when he comes back home, he spent, I'm not sure how long they're gone, a few years. When he comes back, he has to return to being like discriminated against and being made to feel less than, and that's really hard for him to adjust to. And while he's away, he ends up meeting a white woman, I think somewhere in Germany, and
Germany.
I mean, it's not really said, but I guess they kind of fall in love, that kind of thing. And so he has to leave her, and then eventually when he comes back, he gets a letter from her that she's pregnant and that she's had a son. So he's kind of in the place, and he's talking a lot with Jamie about like,
what do I do?
How do I get back? Should I go back? What do I do? That whole thing. So it's really sad because he has this whole life he could possibly have somewhere else, and he has really no way of getting there. And if anybody found out about it, it would be a big deal because that's basically like an abomination to anybody, in the eyes of anybody living in Mississippi at that time.
Yeah. So as far as like the movie's composition, like I felt when I was texting you when I was watching it, like it goes super, super slow.
Yeah.
And like the first hour and 30 minutes of the film is just kind of
like
slow
what's
build up,
exactly?
like what's exactly going to happen. And then shit goes down.
Yeah. He basically, Ronzel had been showing Jamie, they used to ride in the car in Jamie's truck together all the time. And he had shown him the letter and told him about his son and whatever. He accidentally, I think, leaves it in the truck. Then Jamie and his dad get in some fight where his dad's telling him he sucks, basically. And the dad had seen Ronzel in the truck with Jamie earlier that day and was really mad about it and was like, why are you riding in the car with that you-know-what? And he gets mad and he gets in the truck. And then he finds the letter and the photo that Ronzel accidentally left in there. Meanwhile, Ronzel realizes he's lost his letter and his photo, which is like everything to him.
Yeah.
So I think he realizes it's in the truck, or I don't know. He tries to go look for it, and then he gets basically like, what's the word?
He gets taken.
He gets taken
by the KKK,
yeah.
which includes what's his name?
Pappy. They just call him Pappy.
Which includes Pappy. And they go into this barn kind of place, and it's KKK members, the hats and everything, and they tie Ronzel up and they torture him. Like, and it's very graphic. And they don't hold anything back, which I mean, I think as far as like the movie goes, that's the right way to go. Like, if you're gonna do this, you need to tell it right and tell it how it would happen and probably happen, definitely happen.
And then they have Pappy makes Jamie, his son, decide what they're going to do.
They take him to
Ronzel. Yeah, they take him to.
Very violently.
And Jamie's obviously upset, and he's like, let him go, and his dad's like, no, basically. And
every time he says let him go, I think they just
hit him. Yeah, and they've beaten up Jamie too, but they're not going to kill Jamie.
Yeah.
And they make him decide, I can't remember the 3 choices, but it was either like...
tongue, testicles.
Oh, testicles. Maybe it was just testicles.
Eyes.
Or eyes. And Jamie picks the tongue. So they cut out his tongue.
And, like, there was no, like, it was like, we're going to kill him or you got to pick. And
right.
Like, so Jamie in his head is having this, like, internal struggle of, like, oh my God, what do I do? This is, like, my best friend. Like, I mean, they strip him naked when this is
They
all
hang
happening.
him up. Like, I think they
like, almost, like, by something,
like they weren't choking him, but they hung him up in some other way that I can't quite remember right now. But it was a lot. I mean, I like... And
the movie went from being so slow to being, like,
just being
bam.
like, boom. And it was a lot. Like, if you haven't seen something like that, that was probably, like, a lot for you. I don't know. I mean, not that I've seen, like, a lot of stuff like that, but I've watched, like, Roots and stuff. We were talking about the Roots. You haven't seen Roots. Roots
it's over there.
It's good stuff if you haven't seen Roots. But, anyway, so it was really intense. And then it kind of, like... It kind of just changes. You don't really know what's happened to Ronzel. Like, he picks the tongue, but you don't see them cut out the tongue. So I wasn't sure if he was dead or not. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he was dead either.
I thought he might be
because
dead.
Then it goes...
Because his family then
and then
him.
Everything, like, calms in a sense.
Yeah.
And, like, Pappy goes home.
Right.
Like, and it seems to be, like, that night.
Yeah, he goes home. They take Jamie home. They put him in bed. And then Jamie wakes up, and he, like... is really mad.
Yeah.
And he suffocates.
He suffocates Pappy.
Right.
With the pillow.
His dad.
And he was like, I'm looking, like, basically was like, I'm looking you in the eye when I'm killing you.
Yeah, he's like, I want to look you in the eye first.
You're a terrible person.
Right.
Like, kind of deal.
Kills him. And then, he tells his brother's wife what he's done.
Yeah.
And then she lies for him and tells her husband, who'd been out of town at this period of the movie. He comes back. She tells him that his dad had died. So the brother and Jamie are trying to bury him, and they're trying to put the casket down, and they can't do it. And Hap, who's Ronzel's father, and his family happen to be going by on their, like, I don't know what you call that, horse and buggy.
Yeah, and you think that, like, Ronzel's dead.
Yeah, I think Ronzel's dead.
They look
so upset.
Yeah, which rightfully so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So then, forget the brother's name right now. Maybe it's Billy or something. He asks Hap to help him bury the father. And they know that Pappy had just beat up their son. And at this point, I think Ronzel's dead, so killed their son.
But let's also point out that Henry doesn't know that all this shit happened.
Yeah, he just knows that his father's dead. Yeah, so Hap doesn't want to get down to help him, but he ends up doing it. And Henry's asking him, like, hey, can your sons help me too? And then Hap was just like, no, my sons are not helping you bury your father. We find out that Ronzel isn't dead. He makes his way somehow back to Germany, and he meets his son, who now at this point is like 5. Mm-hmm. And then that's kind of where the movie ends. But it was
another one that was like heart-wrenching.
It was really, it was rough, and what makes it hard is like a lot of the stuff going on in that movie is going on now in just like different ways. We just have a lot of racial issues in this country, and it's and I think anybody who tries to say that that's not the case is just not aware of what is going on around them. Because we have a lot of issues with that. I think the people who are negative are so loud right now. Mm-hmm. I really don't think that most people feel this way, but I could be really wrong about that. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't feel like the people I know and I'm around on a typical day-to-day
the people that
basis
we let into our lives
have in our circle are like that.
Yeah.
But clearly there's a lot of people who are but I like to think that there's more people who don't feel this way than do.
I think there's been a lot of relevant movies to current social issues coming out this year.
Right, and I'm really happy about that, and it's nice to see us being progressive and trying to make some change. So what do we want to rate this one?
So this one is not nominated.
Not nominated at all. Mary J. Blige, though, is nominated.
Oh, yeah, she is Best Supporting Actress. I'm going to give it
hard to rate.
7 out of 10.
I'm going to give it the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's our...
Because I like it, and I think it's a good story. It's not, like, thrilling the whole time, but
and I think
that's not its purpose.
I think, like, a major... Like, in terms of the movie quality, not the storyline. Well, I guess the storyline, but, like, it was just really slow for me. Mm-hmm. Like, it took me 3 days to, like, pause, stop, watch the film.
Watch it. It probably would have taken me a while too. The only reason it didn't is because I knew she had told me that it was slow.
Yeah.
So I was like mentally prepared for it to be slow. So I was like, okay, I'll watch. But I did pause it at some point, like took a break and then came back.
And like that's a big deal, especially for me, because like,
I usually am full force in there. Yeah. But yeah.
So that was the Florida Project in Mudbound. They both talk about struggles in totally different ways, in totally different time periods, in totally different races and circumstances and situations. But they're both really two important movies that came out this past year and ones that we want to talk about. So yeah,
check them out. If you're just one's on Netflix, one will probably be on DVD soon. So check it out.
Thanks for watching this episode of On Our List. If you like, subscribe and share.
Share all the things.
All the things. Bye.
Okay, bye.